In this week's episode, we catch up with Gaetan Paletou.
And the winner of GT Academy 2014 is Team France, Gaetan!
Since winning, Gaetan has been described as the fastest champion ever of the competition. After only 10 months as a pro driver, he was given the opportunity to race at Le Mans, and the news was as much of a shock to him as it was to everyone else.
Well, we think you've done such a good job that we're going to stick you in an LMP2 car and you can do Le Mans 24 hours this year. Well done, mate, you deserved it.
After beating 8 million gamers to win GT Academy, it was at race camp that his skills started to shine through.
Gaetan is one of those guys where at race camp you only notice on like day 2 or 3. His performances initially weren't outstanding, but he quickly grasped what we were trying to achieve, and it was soon apparent to everybody that he was our lump of coal we could turn into a diamond.
2 days before the final, I sat with him on the Stowe circuit actually. It was in one of the shootouts, and I hadn't really sat with him much before. He didn't really figure too much. You know, he looked average, he was overweight, he wasn't really standing out in any way, shape or form. And having sat with him, I remember saying that he's potentially one of the best I've ever sat with.
In the final head-to-head race, he took on the top competitors from around Europe.
I felt like pressure, you know, you are like completely lost. When the light came off.
After starting back in third position, 3 of the cars had a collision on the opening corner.
When I saw the 3 cars side by side, I said, no way they can pass the corner. Then I said, no, just too much, and I left, and hopefully I avoid the crash. So yeah, when I saw that, I said, wow, I'm first already.
After a confident race, he took the checkered flag in first place.
I was pretty excited when I crossed the line. Once the race was just jump out of the car, I start to think, yeah, but calm down, it's not finished.
Gaetan's performances from across the week and in the final race were more than enough to convince the judges to crown him the 2014 champion.
It's still my best feeling right now, even with all the stuff I do now, but just in my head for always, really, for always.
Over the next 3 months, the intensive driver development program trained him in everything that would give him the skills to win on the track.
When we win GT Academy, that's where the hard work starts. It's not win GT Academy and then you're professional. There's a lot of responsibility on the winners to perform.
Yeah, he was a driver who was determined, which is what you need. He showed excellent progress. Immediately he showed all those qualities of being prepared to listen, and it became fairly apparent that he has some raw speed and some natural talent. So that combination of those 2 things are a really good building block.
Through listening and learning, Gaetan was able to win his first podiums in a real race.
If they're in a race where they can do well, you know, we let them get on with it, and we hope to see them on the podium. Learn what we're telling you and get a signature for your upgrade to international license.
It was just unbelievable to do 14 races in 2 months. You have fun every day, but it's fun, and you know you have to really improve yourself. DDP is just crazy.
After 12 races, he gained his international race license and was ready to compete at the 24 Hours of Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai was a big test. It was our first international races, so obviously you have a lot more pressure, and it was our first GT3 race, so yeah, it was a big challenge.
There's 2 really hard aspects about the 24 Hours of Dubai. One is there's so many cars on a short circuit, but you get 65, 70 cars on the 5.5 kilometres at Dubai, and it's busy. That is the biggest problem with it. The second most difficult thing about Dubai is there's 12 hours of darkness, and it is dark. And that's when you make mistakes in the dark, trying to go by someone.
After 24 grueling hours in the heat, the new Academy car finished second in class and an amazing 5th overall.
It felt really amazing to be on the podium. Our first international races and already a podium, it's just fantastic. It was just fantastic, and to be with my other teammate who trained for 4 months together to be there, just incredible, really incredible.
Dubai, I was genuinely surprised. To step into a GT3 car in a big race at a circuit which is a long way away from where they've been learning to race here in England. Yeah, that was surprising that they went so well.
While the result at Dubai was surprising, the news that Gaetan received only 3 months after this podium was even more dramatic.
Taking a gamer and seeing him on the grid at Le Mans made me very proud of what we managed to achieve with him in such a short period of time.
And to get him into a P2 car almost kind of in year one is bonkers. People think, oh, was it too quick? But when you look at the amount of hours he spent in a cockpit, endurance racing, no.
The opportunity to race at Le Mans is what some drivers dream of their whole career.
Well, Le Mans is one of the 3 big races in the world. You've got the Monaco Grand Prix, the Indianapolis 500 and Le Mans. It is the most magical week of racing, but it's tough. It is such a tough race to do. Speeds are extremely high. You're doing over 300 kilometers an hour at every one of the straights, and you've got different cars at different speeds and categories, so it's a tremendous challenge.
Yeah, Le Mans was an amazing experience, and because I was French, it was just crazy, just crazy.
Gaetan's experience at Le Mans did not go to plan though.
Yeah, Gaetan was on pace. He worked his way slowly into the Le Mans circuit, so he was doing really, really well. And then we moved on to the next part where, of course, he wanted to push on a bit, and then we had an incident. He hit the brakes while he was turning, and not only did he hit the brakes, he hit them hard, and you can only brake really that hard in a straight line.
Asking him honestly, I think he got a little bit lost. It's quite easy to do. It's quite a particularly dark part of the circuit as you come at the end of Mulsanne, and yeah, you could sort of see on the data he did turn a little bit early, realised, turned out a bit, and then turning again, but on the second one it was probably a little bit late, and then he hit the brakes and subsequently lost the rear.
Yeah, I just pushed too much the brakes, I started to lose the rear. Come off the brakes, try to catch the car, but at 300k it's not possible, so I spun and hit the wall, yeah. I mean, Le Mans took me a long time to learn everything. It was a new car, an LMP2 car, much faster than what I was driving before.
The day after he got straight back in the car and he picked up exactly where he left off, so again it's an impressive thing to do because you never know whether it's been quite such a big crash.
He did come and speak to me about it, and I said, look, you somehow put it behind you, but keep it with you. But bear in mind, in other words, that you just can't afford to push to the absolute 10/10ths, not at that moment. It didn't stop him entering the race or anything like that. It wasn't a disaster, it was just a setback. But yeah, it would have been hard for him, I think.
He learnt.
The team managed to get the car ready for the race, but Gaetan's bad luck did not stop there.
John Lancaster started the race and did well. We changed over to Gary. Gary Harris got in the car, and unfortunately he had an off, and subsequently what happened was we did another 6 laps after he'd had his off. The battery wasn't charging because the alternator belt had topped off, at which point the car stops.
Yeah, it's a real shame. We had a really strong chance, but we never really got to find out how Gaetan would have stacked up against it, in a race condition. So maybe next year, we'll see.
I hope to have my revenge, yeah.
Things have got better for Gaetan in the other series he has been racing in during his first year.
This year he's raced in LMP3, in GT3, and everywhere he's gone he's been quick.
And he's had different pro drivers and he's learned from them all. That's helped him. But Gaetan has excelled at certain moments.
In Gaetan's first endurance race of the season at Silverstone, he started the race in the driver's seat for the first time.
Away they go. Who makes the best start? Jean-Carl Vernet, he's on his toes. A good start also by the second of the Nissans from lower down in the hands of Gaetan Paletou.
Gaetan, his first start in a race this big, unbelievable experience for him, I'm sure, with something like 50 cars behind him. He did a good job.
They round Cops Corner for the first time, and just look at this, a long line of cars pouring through.
The car went on to claim P2 in class, giving Gaetan his first podium of the season.
First Blancpain West and first podium. So, feeling good, really.
But mechanical failures have limited his podium results this year.
He's had some really bad luck, and it's really been character forming for him. But we've had some really strong performances. He's had 2 pole positions at Paul Ricard, and of course a great pole position at the Nürburgring.
It was this pole position at the infamous Nürburgring that impressed his team the most.
First in class apparently. So happy days.
You know, you've got drivers up and down the pit lane, you've got the best GT drivers in the world, ex-Formula 1 drivers like Senna, and you've got this kid and he's just gone and stuck it on pole and pro, and more importantly, 7th out of 240 drivers. Not bad, eh?
Gaetan has also been racing in the brand new prototype car, the LMP3.
It's a very different beast from a GT car. Slightly less weight, much more aerodynamics, keeping it pressed into the track, and moves around considerably less than the GT car does.
Very different from what was driven in the past. You're looking 300 kilos lighter, a little bit less power, but downforce. And downforce is unique to any driver, especially a novice. You've got to really trust the car and your reactions and your instincts. So the way he's come into it, he had podium straight away, can challenge for a win, so it's great to see.
Out on titles in 2 series in his first year, what is next for Gaetan?
It's about this time of the year, of course, that everyone thinks about the following year. Even in Formula 1, this is the silly season. Who's going to sign from who? Gaetan's done enough to justify himself racing next year, but at the moment, we don't know where that might be.
Gaetan, certainly his rate of improvement is probably the quickest of any of the GT Academy winners to this point. It's fantastic, and he's definitely got a lot of talent, and for sure he's going to go really far if he just keeps working.
He's had some great opportunities this year. He's made some mistakes, but I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him, you know, but whether he can take that next step, we'll have to wait and see.
You know, I'm delighted with his progress, and I think he's got a good future.